Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Farah. Welcome back. And today we're going to be hitting the Beginner Guys free-to-play series here. I had a video in between the last one and this one, but it didn't turn out very well. So really all that was missed from that one is we did a Prism summon and we got a miscreated monster on the previous summoning pool, so that was really helpful. Really nice, just generally, he's a good champion. And for like spiders, he's really good. For wave content, he can be good. Maybe he could be. I don't know if he'd work so well in clan boss. He does a shield based off the amount of damage he inflicts. So, like in spiders, he's really good for that because he can hit the AOE and then stun if he doesn't take them out. Usually he takes them out or he's pretty close to. But you can get a big shield that way, which is kind of nice. There's a decrease defense and a stun here. And then the ally protection and the continuous heal on himself is pretty cool. So he can kind of have some clan boss relevance a little bit. I think this is, yeah, you have to place the stun to get the decreased defense. You don't get that against bosses, but yeah. And then he can throw a fear debuff on the attacker for one turn whenever an ally is attacked while under a ally protection buff. So the fear debuff, the difference between fear and true fear, for anyone that doesn't know, is when you have a fear debuff, there's a chance that when you have a fear buff on yourself, there's a chance that when you try to use an attack or a support skill or whatever skill you're using, there's a chance that that skill will fail. I don't know if it's 50% or what exactly it is, but yeah, there's a chance for you to be able to do the attack or the skill or whatever it is, and then there's a chance for you to just fail and not do it. And when you fail, that's when the fear procs. That's what the fear debuff does. And then true fear makes it so that when you try to use that skill and you fail, you actually lose the whole cooldown for the skill. So on normal fear, you kind of just lose your turn, but on a true fear, you lose the whole the skill you're trying to use gets fully reset down to like the cooldown or whatever. Like it's as if you used it, but you didn't use it. So you'll have to wait for that skill to come back up again. So that's the difference there. So this can be pretty helpful then, definitely for like wave content and stuff. But so he's pretty cool. Also, his faction crypt. I'm always talking about faction crypts. This is a particularly hard one, so having him, he is definitely a good champion for it, especially with the team that I have. So really happy. The AOE stun too is just really, really great. It is only 50% chance, but sometimes in faction wars, it's not like it's going to be a clear and easy path to the end. Sometimes it's RNG. Like some runs are just RNG, you know. Um, you just have to try to get enough skill effects off to get through the wave or whatever is going on. So, yep. So yeah, that's what happened there. I put Ruella up to 6 stars. I don't think I had this in the video that was last uploaded to YouTube. So I did some summoning off camera, and I got Ruella, and she ended up being the next 6 star because she's a Spirit Affinity, and I needed a Spirit Affinity for the Arbiter missions. And she's great for Fire Knight. It would be pretty nice if this was. This is going to sound kind of weird, but it would be nice if this was actually a 4-turn cooldown when you book it down, not 3. So like you just threw 2 books in here, and then this got moved to a 3-turn increase crit rate. It is less turn meter fill, but it makes her kit make a little bit more sense because this is still going to be a 4-hitter for the like a 4-turn. It's a 3-turn. It's a 3-hitter, but it's a 4-turn cooldown for the second skill. But then the third skill is this, or they could just put this down to a 3-turn cooldown. That would be really nice. Actually, that would be like the nicer fix. But we know that Polarium sometimes likes to make the harder fix that's available. So, but I mean, it's fine the way it is. But it would just kind of make more sense, you know, generally to me, like flowing 3, 2, 1, and it's a little nicer visually to look at. But it's not really a big deal. She's still a great champion either way. So, yep. And then we had gotten this guy here for the faction crypts as well. Super nice, just a random pull. He has a decreased attack on his first skill, so he's extremely good for the Undead Horde faction crypt, and then he actually has the faction crypt aura as well, so he's really made for that. There was other 4-stars as well, I thought. I don't know if Soul Drinker was one of them. I think I did get him on camera, maybe. Lordly Legionary is one of them that I got off camera. I'm not sure if he's getting used, how much he'll be used for faction crypts. That's basically the only place you can use him. I mean, I think he was built for Fire Knight. I just don't think he's very good at it. And then, I don't know if we got anything else. We got a Carolina and an Elric at some point as well from just summoning off camera. The big one, though, like, other than just Ruella, and then getting him from the prison shard or whatever, was Mordecai. This was the last ancient shard that I pulled off camera, and he is an unbelievable pickup. I was wondering where to throw my books as well. Like, so you see Ruella here, 6-starred. I saw Mordecai as a higher priority because without an AoE HP burn, it makes Hydra a lot harder early on. He makes Spider way easier as well, having that AoE HP burn. So yeah, and I did have some like strategies in mind of debuff spreading with, I think all 3 of these characters actually debuff spread. So he does their debuff spread, and debuff spread as well. But just having the AoE HP burn makes it a lot easier. Then I don't have to bring all 3 of these in with a separate HP burner and try to just hope it works. Or have a really long run where I'm using Armiger to just push the turn meter down, and Ruella does a little bit of that as well, I think. She can steal some turn meter. But yeah, Mordecai is a massive pull. So he has the increased attack for all allies, and which is just a nice buff for the team. And then he's got the AoE HP burn. So I decided to throw books into him, and we're going to have him up to 5-star level 50 today. He might be the next 6-star even. Him or him. I can see either of these two being pretty reasonable. I can kind of see her as well, for Fire Knight specifically being pretty reasonable. But I think one of these 3 so far. I actually do have a Prism Summon here to use as well, so maybe we get, I don't know, a Legendary that's good, or Geomancer or something, and then maybe it's like, well, maybe I do that one instead. Because Geomancer, so that, like, the decision making here was like, even if I get Geomancer, there's a 1 in 16 chance if I pull an epic. Even if I get the Geomancer, I'm like 100% confident this was the right move. To make sure that I've got that 4-turn AoE HP burn, I think is a lot more important than the Geomancer skill even. And as important as Geomancer is, because he makes Clan Boss definitely easier as well. But the AoE is just, it's extremely good. It'll make my life in Spiders a lot easier, and Hydra a lot easier. So yeah, and then here he's got a chance to decrease turn meter and fills the turn meter of all allies by 15%, which is just a great skill. Even an arena skill, I could make him fast, just because I want him to be fast for Spider anyway, maybe, and then I could use him here for arena, so kind of a thought there. And then this can steal, no, just decrease, yeah. It decreases turn meter. If the target is under an HP burn, it's a higher chance to decrease the turn meter. So, yeah. I got some other rares too. Just some different things to fill out the faction crypts. That's kind of why I was pulling, honestly, was just to get some rares, like get like 5 or 6 rares. And then I kept pulling epics. So I was like, I mean, if the luck is good right now and I can just keep pulling epics, I guess I'll just keep going. And it worked out really well. It doesn't always, and it doesn't usually work out that way, where you're getting actually good epics, good usable epics for your account, off of a 2 times for Ancients, but it worked out really well here. So yeah, we can check out the Faction Wars stuff. And yeah, not far in Demon Spawn. I did bring up one of these things here just to throw in. So it'll be like 4-star level 40, the team. And then I'm hoping that I can get through to stage 10 with this team that's... I think it's doable. I think stage 10 is doable, or at least stage 8 or 9. I'm hoping to at least 3-star through stage 7, so I don't have to deal with that boss again. But we'll see what happens here. He's getting tossed in, so we'll see how that goes. We're pretty good in the Bannerlords faction here. I must have just run out of time or something because I mean I have good champions here. I've got him, the Mikey at 6-star. I've got these ones. She's Lady Mikage fusion, so she has to be 5-starred anyway. So she's kind of just a no-brainer to me to just throw into the Faction Wars team. Just make sure I don't take her to 6-star. Otherwise, I mean, as long as she's at 5-star, she doesn't get any books. Like, she's just going to be sitting there waiting for Mikage. So I think reasonable. Sathali is good. She's got an AoE that I think it's a double hitting AoE on a 3-turn. So actually pretty nice there. Good at place for a stun set. And then he had some buffs I wanted, I think. The reflect damage, continuous heal. So yeah, but the teams are getting filled out a little bit. We're pushing a little farther, doing better. Some faction crypts here, like Organ Tribes, Orcs, Lizardmen, will get pushed up at least through stage 10 pretty soon here. Because Lizardmen, I think I have all of them to 40. I have these 40 or 50, or Ugo is 60. The Orcs I have to 40 now, I think. At the very least, I think they're all at 40. And then Barbarians, I don't even understand what's going on with this one, because I've got 2 Hanoraks 6-starred. I'm pushing up High Katoon. I don't know why it's only at 8, but it might just be like I'm just busy on the days it keeps coming up. But yeah, this should be definitely farther. And then Shadowkin is the one faction crypt I will say is looking like a real pain right now, because this is what it looks like. Faction. Okay, so Karato, Obero, Tanako. I actually want in the team. I'm happy to have them in the Faction Wars team. I think Assassin is not great. He's kind of just the first 3 letters of his name, and but that's all I've got. Literally, I literally only have 5. I only have 5 Shadowkin characters on the account, even so. Not sure, it's just kind of hard sometimes when you're early on and you just don't have anything. So yeah, that's not great, but we're doing okay at least in a lot of this stuff. So yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the account. Arena, I finally put in a defense that's not 1-man because I want to start pushing up and getting more gold medals. I'm just about to 400 here. I'm at 2104 for trophies, so gold 1. And then I just have a couple missions to finish here, so I've got to get Ruella up and get some gear on her and try to craft that team and get that going for stage 14 of Fire Knight. And then Mordecai. So Spider's a little weird. Traditionally you're told, like, do AoE attackers up to stage 15, kind of. And then, like, stage 16 to 17, about, like, you can start using HP burn teams. Because I don't have very many AoE attackers, or I kind of do, but it's a little funky. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and use the HP burn team, and just use Armiger to keep the turn meter of the boss down. I've got 2 Hanorak for a decreased speed. I can put Ruella in as well for turn meter push and for decreasing speed, defense, weaken, I think she does, with the second skill, and then the first skill steals turn meter. And just try to out-cycle the spider boss, and just try to make sure Armiger is in a good spot to continue to push her turn meter down. You could even build 2 You could theoretically build 2 Armigers, 4 Fire Knight and 4 Spider's Den early on to just try to get through it. This is a little harder because if you don't have the multi-hits outside of the Armiger, then it's not going to work. You have to have multi-hitters that you know will break the shield for it to work. And it's not a ton at stage 14, but yeah, here it's a little, makes a little more sense because you know you're getting the turn meter reduction and whatever. But yeah, and then we'll be on to this where we need to get the affinity bonus up to 7, so that'll be happening pretty soon. And we'll have to just get back into one of those weekly rotations where we can pick up the whatever magic or spirit, then magic, then force and void. So yeah, and then once I get through that week, it's already going to be like back into, let's get level 8, and then I'm going to have to do these. Stage 15 of Arcane Keep, Golem's Peak, Dragon's Lair, and Minotaur's Labyrinth are all pretty easy. Stage 15 of Fire Knight Castle and Spider's Den, so it's nice it only goes up 1 stage. That shouldn't be terrible. And then we're into level 9 for an affinity bonus, and then we're back into farming these, and then this is where you make the, like, a spirit, magic, force, affinity, void affinity. That's where you have to ascend them to level 6 of Ascension, so. And then it's 10, and then we're on to stage 17s and stage 20s, and then clan boss damage, and yeah. So, we are well on our way. I just kind of need to get an arena team together, which should be something like this. Not by faction, though, no. By rank, yeah. That will be something like this, with there, +1. So it could be Mordecai for more turn meter effect, so more turn meter fill and turn meter decrease for the enemies. It could be this. It could be this. It could be this. It could be a lot of different things. It could even be this. He's got the AoE with the block active skills. It could be this for the AoE with the stun. So a lot of options there, but this is actually completely free to play. Because I used the Madame Cerise whatever link code thing and got her that way. And then whatever Boozer's code was. That was a weird one to get. But yeah, and then she's the 30-day login, and he was free from the event here for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So this is a completely free-to-play arena team that will work pretty well. And then you just got to add the +1 in. So I kind of like the way this looks. I don't like that they're both spirit affinity, but I do like the block active skills. I like that he's hard to kill and very annoying. So yeah, something like that. But anyway, I think that kind of wraps up our little review here. I am not like super actively going for this. I would like to get at least 1 just to have him for the faction crypt. He'd be pretty nice for the faction crypt, but I don't want to have to expend too many resources, but we'll see. I'm hoping to get 1 copy. But yeah, here we did this. We did the event. I farmed stage 10 of Sand Devil to do this. It took me, I want to say it took me 130 runs with super raids on. So technically it would be, what is that, 260 of like actual like single, like not super raid single runs. But since we have super raids there, that helps. So I went through and got the rewards, and yeah. I don't think I got anything real miraculous in here. If we get a Gizmac, I guess that's cool, but yeah. Anyway, we can hop in here and just pop this, and we will just, we'll see what we get here. So. Nice, nice. So this is another Lady Mikage fusion piece, and she is usually good for Bommel, because she can do the bombs and bomb out the Bommel boss in Doom Tower, so I could get some use out of her there, because I have to bring her up to 5 stars anyway for the Mikage fusion. So yeah, we could get some reasonable use out of her. Nice. Geomancer would have been cool. Neldor would have been cool. Dythy would have been cool. Farakin would have been pretty cool. Fane and Fenax, I guess, would have been cool. Allure would have been pretty good. There's actually a lot of good champions in here. But yeah, I mean, I'll take a Lady Mikage piece. Why not, right? So that gets me these two here then. I've got 2 for Tatsu. I might have these before I've got 5 usable champions for the Shadowkin faction if I'm really unlucky. But yeah. Anyway, I think that's all for this video. If you guys made it this far, thanks for watching, and I'll see everybody next time.